Welcome back to the Nerdrotic Nooner for Patreon. What is up, everybody? I just watched the latest Yoda, the Jedi Master Star Wars Galaxy Adventures. That was actually a pretty good one. They didn't make Luke look like an idiot. And there was some flashbacks in there that showed Yoda. It's pretty cool. But then it gets me wondering, like, they want to get rid of the Skywalker family. And it makes me wonder why. And that relates to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it looks like they want to get rid of the core characters. And it makes me wonder why, because they don't need to do this. They can continue these characters forever and then add their own and have them interact, and it would be great. Why do they have a problem with either of these things? There's lots of reasons, but I think ultimately business reasons are the reasons. With the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the reason I believe they are systematically going to get rid of some of the main characters and start doing legacy characters, which DC, let's frankly, has always done better than Marvel. And it's because of the way their system is set up. And this is something my son, of course, being autistic, he gets like into things. It's more obsessive compulsive than autistic, so he gets like on these obsessions, right? So his current obsession is legacy characters, and he can't stop talking about them, and it's great. It's fine. So he's really interested in why Wally West is probably a better Flash to him than Barry Allen, why Kyle Rayner's to me is a better Green Lantern than Hal Jordan, and why hasn't Marvel been able to do this? Well, it's because, again, how their system is set up. But the reason I think all of this is happening is Disney, who now is both Marvel and Star Wars, and DC has already done this. So they don't want to be attached to the older characters because I think there's some creators' rights issues involved. I think this could lessen some litigation, especially with Marvel. It has been proven in some cases that if they go back and start looking over the old contracts and find out that Len Wein or Roy Thomas, who co-created Wolverine and Ghost Rider, and not Len Wein, but Roy Thomas created Ghost Rider, Wolverine, co-created Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Adam Warlock, hundreds of characters, that he might have some right to them. DC Entertainment, it's now called DC Entertainment. It used to be called DC Comics. The reason they did their big change was precisely this. They changed into a new company and did their big crossover convergence by changing the character a little bit. They now have full rights to Superman and Clark Kent because just up until recently, the rights to Superman were being contested hotly, and they almost got them back, or part of them back. And that's what led DC to change everything. So I think that is what's behind all of this. Now, there's, of course, the agenda thing, which is ruining everything. I think that is just egos and personal politics. And it's going to have a lot to do with my next video that I've been promising for 2 days. And I've actually cut it 3 times. And I got to stop doing that. I got to just start putting out. I mind fuck myself on this stuff. So I still have my stacks of comic books here that I'm going to show for my next video. And I'm going to be using Secret Invasion as an example of why the MCU is doing well, why Captain Marvel is doing well, and why the comic industry is failing. And hopefully I can tell this story within a stack of comic books. Got another one down here too. I actually been reading these, and yeah. Captain Marvel is better than I remember, to be honest with you. Look at this, man. He's fighting a Submariner. And yeah, there's an early Skrull one in here. Yeah, taking on the Super Skrull. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. They really fucked up the Skrulls good. Bleeding Fool, if they haven't done it already, I have a Bleeding Fool article coming out today sometime. So keep an eye out for that. I just sent it in, and they have to correct all my spelling errors and my grammatical errors. They actually asked for 2 paragraphs. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can write 2 paragraphs of anything. Let's get to the chat. YouTube is starting to change their stuff. Sorry, I wanted to try a different way to stream this because they're going to be getting rid of Hangouts, which worries me. But I have OBS software. I could start using that. I think it's like, I don't know. I prefer the Hangouts because it's just easier. Oh boy, where did that go? Where did that go? Hang on a second. I'm trying to get to the chat. It says resume broadcast. Am I still going? Somebody hit F if I'm still going, because it says resume broadcast. Hello. I'll say hello. It looks like I'm still going. Yes. Okay. That's weird. Why does it say resume broadcast when I'm still going? Like, oh, well, whatever. Cool. All right. And hello, Matthew Matson. Yeah, I tweeted about that. Farscape is on Amazon Prime, and it's part of the reason why your video has not come out yet, because I've been watching it. I'm bummed, though, because I heard it was supposed to be some 4K transfer, and it's just the same shit. It's delayed on your end, and it's probably because I have my screen flow up right now and my compressor up at the same time. Hang on. Let me just turn off my camera for a bit. And I've got a bunch of things going here. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. And let's make sure I save my video. Save and quit. All right. That should be a lot better. If it's not, it's probably because I'm using Chrome and not Safari. Yeah, it's time to get a new machine. Time to get a new machine. Damn it. I just got this one too. So what's on the docket for today? So yeah, it's going to be kind of short today because you're going to see me a lot today here on Patreon, because we're going to start doing watch parties of stuff I review. They're not great. Okay. I'll be honest with you. It's just me, with my notes, but you'll get to see live reaction, and we can have live reaction. I'm going to try to show you what I'm watching. So I'm going to be using OBS. And it'll be like a partial screen of what I'm watching, so you can see where I'm at. And there'll be no audio, of course, and it'll be unlisted. So I don't know. And again, this is a channel where if YouTube has a problem with it, it's no big deal. So yeah. Other than that, I was watching live streams late last night, watching Ricada Law, and he was talking to Vic's attorney, and Vic's attorney's funny, man. He's funny. But apparently, yeah, if you watch those, it gives you a lot of insight of what's going on behind the scenes on that, and it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts, but not anything I'm going to get to on the channel. I don't know if you guys saw EVS's video where Jim Jeffers, who did the hit piece on your boy Zach, got caught saying some pretty horrible stuff, and it looks like his career might be over. It says HD, and people are believing it. Hardcore fans are saying their DVDs were a better transfer. It is not HD. It is not. There's artifacts everywhere, and of course I can account for my connection, of course, but it is definitely not. I used to work in that field. And listen, HD is 720p basically, and that's what most of your 1080p Blu-rays are 1080i or 720p. Very few of them are there used to be, God, I forgot the name of it. Sony used to put them out. Spider-Man 2 had one where it was no special features. It was just the damn movie on a blue, and that was true 1080p. But remember Amazing Spider-Man 2.1? And it was like an extended version. That was my favorite. I love that. You're not supposed to get a notification. I hope this is unlisted. It's supposed to be unlisted. Hang on. Hope I didn't make this public. If not, I'm gonna have to change that. Nobody's supposed to get a notification. Yeah, it's unlisted. That's weird. Oh, maybe you get them as a subscriber. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. It doesn't matter if people join in. I don't care. Crap, I just lost the chat. There we go. Yeah, so the plan for today is we're going to watch the Orville first, at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then I'm going to jump on the regular channel and do my review. I actually have everything. It's nice when I have my days open because I can set everything up in advance. And that's currently what I'm doing. I'm in a rush. It's going to be I'm going to need a vacation after next week. So I'm sending out everybody's packages. Just got paid from YouTube today. And sending out everybody's packages. And then I have to pre-make a bunch of thumbnails for videos I think I might make over there. And yes, I'm going to make videos over there. I have to. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be many, to be honest with you. It'll probably be like 2, just to keep the algorithm happy. And I'll be doing a couple live streams as well. But yeah, I can have everything set up and so I can just jump on. And that's what delays the live streams a lot is I'm like sharing it and I'm writing everything and I'm creating the thumbnails in advance. You have to create the thumbnails in advance because if you don't, if somebody Googles your video, it just shows your like the blanket thumbnail or the default thumbnail, which is just my logo. And I want them to be specific thumbnails. And yeah, so we'll see how that goes tonight. We'll see if it's possible. Both reviews are probably going to be 25 minutes to a half hour tops. Yeah, and there's going to be lots of videos and lots of live streams next week, and it's going to be busy. Yes, I am treating the Orville as preventative medication to watch it prior to STD. Yes, it is preventative, Chris. Absolutely. Honestly, I would do Star Trek Discovery first, but the actual interest in the show is waning, both in people who don't like it and people who like it. I think it's really gone into territory where it's still laughably bad, but it's not as laughably bad as it used to be. I mean, it's still horrible. If you really think about these episodes, they're awful. Some of the worst storytelling on television. It's that bad. The last episode was so bad. I edited out 10 minutes of my breakdown video. I'm like, I can't put everything in here or it's going to be a half an hour and you might as well watch the live stream. So I edited out 10 minutes. I'm like, I'll just keep the big stuff that they screwed up. But yeah, by all accounts, that show is so their next article that's coming out, by the way, is they always planned on getting rid of Pike. They always planned on doing a different captain. There was a 5-year season plan for this. I did hear that. But the fact of the matter remains that Pike was incredibly popular for the small amount of people who are watching the show. Pike was tracking to be the best character. And the thing I left out of my video, which I might put into another one, is the fact that CBS has a slight history with this show of getting rid of somebody and then throwing out a little piece of dirt, just a little piece of dirt after that to make themselves look good. Brian Fuller was a problem on the set. They got rid of him because the real reason he left is because he wanted to adhere to canon. They did not. And Kurtzman pulled some political stuff behind him and got rid of him, basically. So they got rid of him. Then they threw shade on him. Then the other 2 writers, who I'm forgetting the name, they said they were verbally abusive. They were verbally abusive in the writer's room, which means they probably told somebody that their writing wasn't very good and they should rewrite something. And that's abusive these days. They could find any reason. So when they went out the door, they threw a little shade on him. So they got rid of Pike, the most popular character, and they threw a little shade. They threw in that, well, there's an altercation on the set. Well, that might have been it. It might have been just him flailing his hands around and accidentally hitting somebody. But why in the fuck would it go to HR? And then why would you mention it on the way out the door? Because that's the kind of environment CBS is right now. And this is what my insider's been saying, that it's been for lack of a better word, it's a toxic as hell environment. And that's kind of how things are run over there right now, because they have no real leadership. So there's a lot of backstabbing, talking behind the back, and that's it. So it's pretty foul right now. And that is why I believe they threw a little shade on Anson Mount, who, I mean, look back at his career. I don't think he's had any problems before. So yeah, Yeah, poor Anson Mount, and he's not coming back. I don't know if Ethan Peck is, but we'll see. Your 30-minute analysis is still shorter than Andy Tricker's 3-hour breakdowns. Yes, his breakdowns are funny, but they are way too long. But yeah, he does things the way he wants to do things. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna no, if he asks for advice, I'll give it to him. He's doing a couple things wrong. But he doesn't care. He's come out and said, "I'm going to do things my way, and that's it." And that's good for him, man. Do it your way. Because sometimes, I'm doing things my way too. It just happens to agree with the algorithm. That's all. Just trying to cover their asses if ditching him got a negative backlash. And you are right, Brian Pollock. And what? Uh, I mean, there really was no. I mean, again, if Star Trek Discovery does something in a forest, does anybody hear it? Because nobody reacted to this. Again, it didn't trend on Twitter. Again, it's like nobody cares about this show. How can Star Trek not trend on Twitter once? Not once. I remember it trending when it got announced for season 2. And I remember it trending in the early times for Star Trek Discovery in season 1. I totally remember trending because I saw it. So yeah, I think that's a great indicator. And again, I mean, people can believe me or not. My insider told me a long time ago that Netflix will not be carrying Star Trek shows anymore. I think they're going to continue to carry Discovery because they have to, because of the agreement was early on. But Netflix is pissed for probably a multiple reasons, and I think the lawsuit might have a teeny bit to do with it too, because it's not really Star Trek. It's not, and the Orville is. And I can't wait to see the Orville tonight. I look forward to this every week. I get so excited. It's such a great show. It's a great show. Happy premieres next week. So we're going to be covering Happy. I can't cover the Twilight Zone because I'll be traveling that day. So I'll probably do a quick review when I land. I don't know if I can watch anything over there. I got to see if I have to get a VPN for my phone. Yeah, I don't know like what the deal is over there. I don't know, like if I travel internationally, can I still log into my Netflix account or what? I don't know. And is there going to be internet connection over there? And I have no idea. I'm going to be in a castle somewhere in Sicily. I've never been to Sicily before. So anticipation trophies. When did people start being unable to accept criticism? I took and gave it all the time when I was working. It helped us all work together and get better results. I could tell you when, the hunky chunky funky monkey. It was, we have paradigm shifts in culture, and we have shifts when another generation passes a torch to another one. And I distinctly remember the kids. I hired kids from the college to work at my store, just part time. Some of them just worked for comics, like or I gave them $13 an hour, to work a couple hours a week. Not much. But I would exclusively hire kids from the college because they're good seasonal work, and my hours were so little that they could do their homework and stuff. So it was just for people who wanted extra scratch or wanted money to buy their comics. And I was pretty hardcore about like who I hired. They had to know their shit, or they had to be really charming. One of the two. But I remember the kids I hired prior to 2008 were, to a man and woman, pretty awesome, pretty great. Like I never had problems. Then I remember the kids I was hiring post 2008, and to a man and woman, they all sucked. I mean, like having to fire somebody who works 2 hours a week is rough, but when they can't even handle that, and maybe I just had maybe I had bad taste, maybe I had a bad crop. I don't know. But there was a difference. It was weird. It was weird. And, Melissa noticed it. We noticed it at the salon too. Now things are better at the salon, but it's still, and it's the environment of San Francisco too. Um, the minimum wage here is $15 an hour now, and which is not enough to live here. So it's crazy. But the economy here is freaking great. Like great. And comic shops are closing and there's no reason. This is probably I will say the third best comic book market in the country. Easily. It's better than LA because the comic shops are closer together. There's two real big colleges that aren't like nationally known, but they're like right next to comic stores. And this place is filled with nerds. This whole city is filled with nerds more than there ever have been. The city used to be a lot different. San Francisco is completely different than it was 10 years ago. There's the gentrification thing, but it's more of an economic thing. It's not a white person thing. It's more because not all the tech bros are white, by the way. Actually, a vast majority of them are not. And that they're bringing over here now. And they are and that doesn't matter. It's an economic thing. The tech bros are getting paid like great money to live here. And there are a bunch of nerds and they should do great, but I think it wasn't really Obama. It was more the I think 08 was 08 when Obama come in. Yeah, and that's also when we got the economy took a shit. The economy took a shit that no bankers went to, the zero bankers went to jail for, which fucking pisses me off. But yeah, I don't, what, for whatever reason it changed. And it also, with a small business, especially with comic shops, it's not good to be a medium-sized comic shop. You either need to be really big and going gangbusters like Midtown Comics, or it's best to just be a small place where when I went back down to having one helper, I was a lot busier, but I made a lot more money. Things ran better. And that's what I did is I downsized a little bit. I'm like, I'm going to make the place look great and I'm going to order less shit. And I ended up doing much better that way. I taught middle school in 2007, 2009, and I knew a bad crop of kids were coming out and I was worried. Yep. And yeah, that might have been just from the crop of parents who, from the early 80s. Who knows? Who knows? But it sucked. It was bad. Yeah, it made me not want employees anymore. And when kids were frustrating me who worked there 2 hours a week, it's like, I'd ask them to alphabetize a box of comics and I got a sigh. And it's like, what? Oh, okay. See ya. See ya. But there, I mean, like, hopefully I'm just trying to formulate this in my head, how I can like make this analogy work with the stack of comics. And because it's supposed to be for the normies, it's not supposed to be for anybody who knows. For you guys who know about comic stores, you already know. Pete's. And and I got to get this video. I mean, I think I'm just going to give myself a deadline and make sure it's got to be done by 3:30 so I can edit it or put some finishing touches on it and then get it out prior to, because it's kind of listen, I'm about to do 2 live streams and it's good to have a video before your live streams. It helps the algorithm. So yeah. And then of course it's days like this where I miss all the news. So I'm going to like look at the news real quick and hopefully something doesn't pop up, but gotta say, I got lucky with the last 2 videos. They're doing great. And then Bleeding Fool is about to post one of them any moment now. And that always gives it a huge bump. Actually, when Bleeding Fool reposts one of my videos, it gets like another 30,000 views. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Dun, 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 dun. Comics Codex launches platform for indie comic creators. Interesting. Yeah, it's not up yet. Give me just a second here. There's a petition created to remove Amber Heard from Aquaman 2. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet. What? Sorry, I'm looking over. What? That's He-Man? Actor Noah Centineo is reportedly been cast as He-Man in Sony and Mattel's Masters of the Universe movie based off the classic, the toy which spawned oh, Sony's so fucking stupid. Oh my god. I love that tweet. Now, maybe he could yoke up, you know? Wow. Just freaking wow. Go away, ad. There we go. There we go. Oh my god. He will work out to get those abs and guns up started, right? Real Hugh Jackman worked out with The Rock to play Wolverine, and boy, did it work. Jesus, take the wheel. Can you say he was hot? I can't see anyone else playing Wolverine right now but him. Well, Tom Hardy. This guy looks like Wilmer Valderrama more than He-Man. I guess Sony really wants a flop and a bomb with He-Man. Who is playing Skeletor? Carrot Top? Oh, boy. Uh, yeah, I mean, he could get muscly, but he can't get huge. Yeah. Well, there you go, everybody. There's your He-Man. I mean, good thing I'm not a He-Man fan. But this will go right into the new She-Ra. Idris Elba for Idris Elba would be a better He-Man than that kid. I tell you that. That guy will need the gym in a dude. He will need so many steroids. He'll need all the steroids because you can't get that big. I mean, it's Idris for Skeletor. That'd be kind of cool. I'd actually think that would be good. I really hope they do Skeletor like with a creepy voice and not the Skeletor voice, you know. But I know you guys like that. Listen, He-Man was not my I was a teenager when He-Man I was an early I wasn't a little kid when He-Man came out. So um yeah. So it's not that it's not ingrained in my pop culture or anything, but that's certainly funny as hell. And that is proof that none of this is changing anytime soon. So and there's listen, because of the Me Too Times Up thing, there is a conscious decision to not promote masculinity. And I mean not just just masculinity, and it's kind of hard to do He-Man without masculinity. So I mean, they tried to, that's why, god damn it, when Marvel casts freaking Wolverine, it's going to be some little boy. It's going to be some little boy. You don't see you know, dudes in films, and I know it's not the 80s anymore, but yeah. John Chu's He-Man that was supposed to come out 6 years ago. What happened to that, by the way? What happened to that? Because I think I remember hearing about that, Matt. I've always heard this rumor. I don't know if it's true that the original He-Man script was a repurposed script of Jack Kirby's New Gods. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I've been hearing that around in comic shops and stuff since I was, dude, since back in the 80s when the original He-Man came out. That movie's not going to do well. It's just not going to do well. So, and you know they're going to do like the She-Ra that oh, and just fair warning, that thumbnail that I used for my podcast yesterday was supposed to be for this video, so I'm gonna have to probably, man, because what I was gonna do is I was gonna have Thanos with a Mickey hat, and then I'm gonna have like a picture of a comic store in the background being snapped away. I'm gonna see if it works. It sounds good in my head. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off though. Maybe I'll use this picture with some mouse ears and then have the comic book snapped away. That's a pretty badass picture of Thanos right there. God damn, that's fucking Thanos. Man, that looks good. That looks fucking good. God damn it. Uh, oh man. Maybe hang on. Let me show you fucking Thanos. Oh, open you biatch. Oh, there they are. Look at that. Boo, boo, boo. Right next to my Trans Metropolitan Horde. Okay. So if I have a run of comic books that I gotta see if there's, that is my absolute favorite. It's Adam Warlock. These are badass. These are Jim Starlin and the Origins of Thanos. And god damn, look at this cover. It's supposed to look like a Frazetta cover too. Yeah, look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, look at that. That's so badass. There's your boy. Right there. These are just good books. And they wasted this entire story. Oh, look what's in there. Look at that. That's good too. Damn, that looks good. I was kind of bummed they didn't bring in Warlock early, and somebody asked in the live stream if they're going to use Carol in Warlock's place like towards the end, which they certainly could. But it looks like to me like Captain Marvel's not going to be in very much. She might be battling in the end or something like that. So I don't think Endgame's going to get ruined. But I think I definitely think the future of the MCU looks pretty bad. I'm sorry to say. He-Man should be blonde. Aquaman was supposed to be blonde. They kind of made him blonde, Glenn, but they did it in the fact that they did it like the ocean bleaching that it does. But yeah. Yeah, the MCU is screwed. It's screwed, and that's what my next video is going to be, and it's not fun. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm not looking forward to this at all. I'm not looking forward to the fucking shit I'm going to be getting. But I can take it. I got some lovely emails yesterday, so I finally got through and answered a bunch of emails. I still have 200 to go through, which is great. It's a good problem to have. And some people are reaching out, and I'm getting some insider stuff, and somebody's like who's really big offered to help me with my website, which I'm like, thank you. I gotta vet the guy first. But he sounds like he's a pretty serious dude, and he showed me some of his stuff, and it's like, wow, that's cool. And he's in the Bay Area, so I can actually talk to him in person. So things are like going great for the channel. I want to thank you guys for all your support. It means the world to me. If I didn't, I mean, the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, Matt Matson, you guys are always been really cool and sticking with me. I've taken a lot of friendly fire lately from people who were in the channel early and don't like the direction it's going. And yeah, that's fine. I fully expected that to happen, but a couple of people have spurred out on me, and it just, that's to be expected. It's just, we're talking about television shows here. I got a particularly nasty one just because I said for 5 minutes that, because I get asked all the time, guys, like all the time about the Vic situation. Like, and I really haven't answered it, but I want to be real and honest here and not afraid to say what I think. And I'm not going to be afraid to say what I think. And hopefully there's people out there who don't think that, because I don't think that about any of you ever. Like, you have one opinion on something that defines you as a person. I mean, that's the gist of what the hell's going on here on both sides, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you there. So I said, hey, I've really looked into it now. And after watching, it's one-sided, but after listening to Vic's lawyer and looking at his pure confidence, now he's supposed to exude that as a lawyer, but man, it's really confident. I'm like, I think this was just a setup. I mean, and if there's evidence to the contrary, I will apologize. I will come out and say I was wrong, and the book should be thrown at him. But until then, there needs to be evidence. That's all I said. And that's all I will ever say. And I will never talk about it on the channel again. And I actually referred people, it's like, hey, if you like the subject and you're with Vic, then definitely go to That Umbrella Guy and Yellow Flash. Those are great channels who are covering the subject better than I ever will, because I'm not going to cover it anymore. Yeah, I got. I am debating on, like, I'm just rolling around in my head if I should have a response for this. We'll see if it spills out in the public. If it does, then I will have a response for it. But yeah, it was a phone call too. So yeah, it's funny. It's funny. I'm glad Mrs. Nerdrotic doesn't get on this channel though, because she gets the most pissed about it. But because she's looking out for me, which is great. I do too, Matthew. I mean, like, listen, what's wrong with saying that? I understand you need to believe the victim. You absolutely do. Listen, I was one. Okay, like when I was a little kid. Yeah, I was one, and it fries your life. It reprograms your brain. It makes you not trust anybody. It makes you live in fear, and you have to get fucking years of therapy. So when I hear people say that something happened, but they can't remember when it was or where it was. And remember when I said, no matter how high I was, I always remember what the hell I was doing. People use that as an excuse. Yeah, some people do blackout drunk. That is a thing. But most of us know what the fuck we're doing. Okay. So if something like that happens, it is in great. There's things I don't remember as a kid. I remember this perfectly. Perfectly. I remember what was the movie that was playing in the classroom. And the funny thing is, it was the Song of the South. Yeah, they were playing that in classrooms in the early 70s. I have that record somewhere. Is that it over there? I have it somewhere. I have the record of the Song of the South. I have the LP of it. It was an edited down version for classrooms. So, I don't know, but I definitely remember zippity doo dah. So after that shit gets ingrained in your memory. It gets ingrained in your fucking memory. And for them to go, and that was when I was 6. I don't remember shit. I mean, like, I don't know how many childhood memories you guys have. I mean, I've got a few that I can remember, like riding a big wheel or something like that, but not many. Yeah, well, the Song of the South wasn't a big deal in the early 70s. I don't know, like, when that started. I think it was the 80s when they started getting rid of that thing. Was it the 80s? 80s and 90s when they started like ghosting the Song of the South. But hang on. We got time. I think I got it right over there. Books that my grandma had when when my mom had when she was a kid. So there used to be these old records that would be the storybooks that Disney came out. I have all of those. Am I still here? Okay, good. No, I went to go look and see if I had that record, but no, most of my LPs are right next to me over there. So I was going to show it, but I don't have it. So that being said, yeah, with the Vic thing, but I mean, like, dude, I got like, it's like, yeah, I can't say much because it's kind of it's a person I was not expecting it from, but it's like, chill out. You almost drowned and your dad saved me, and I bet you remember every second of that, right? There's certain things you remember, and that I remember. So for somebody to say they don't remember that, I have a hard time with that. I really do. I really do. But I can say it here on Patreon. We're getting close to okay. So every second of it, yeah, that must have been scary as hell. I remember the Captain and Tennille and Sonny and Sonny and Cher on 8-track. Good old 8-tracks. I remember songs fading out right in the middle of an 8-track. It's like, who would listen to I mean, like, you're just getting into the song and it fades out in the middle because it's changing tracks. That sucks. I bet you your dad just crapped himself, Matthew. I mean, like, the one thing that happened to Logan is we have a big stairway that leads up to our front door. Yeah, our front door, it's weird. So you come to our house and you got to walk upstairs to get to my front door. If that stairway falls down, my front door is like 15 feet up. There's no way to get in it. That's why probably there's been so many break-ins around here and people don't break into our house because they have to run up this windy stairway. So Logan one day fell off the stairway. It was cold. We were all bundled up and I turned around to close the door. And next thing I know, and I see him just boop, boop, boop. But luckily I had him bundled up like it was a Christmas Story because it was just cold. So he falls down. I jump down the stairs, and right before he hits the bottom, head first on the fucking sidewalk, I grabbed his fucking shoulder, and like he's got a look on his face like this, and I've got to look at my face like that. And I'm not even kidding. I almost pissed myself. I was so fucking scared. And I fucking grabbed him, and his head missed the sidewalk by that much. Melissa popped her head out and saw that. And then of course I got up and I had a giant gash on my knee from fucking jumping down the steps and stuff. And yeah, that was the scariest. So I could see it from the other perspective. That stuff is like, oh man, just thinking about that is terrible. I have a question. How do you schedule movies and TV when you make so many videos? I don't sleep, Glenn. What I do is that's why I do them live. So that's the thing is that the whole thing with doing live recaps is to cut down on doing videos. And if freaking YouTube would change their algorithm and just treat certain live things as videos, they'd be fine. And they do. That's why I keep them short. That's why I try to keep them under 30 minutes. because then they can be treated like videos. But honestly, some videos take an hour to record and some videos take 6. It, it just depends. It just depends. Like that Star Trek one that came out, I did that in a half an hour. I was like, boom, 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 done. The Anas Abdeen one, boom, 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 done. But the Captain Marvel one took 6 hours. I remember the last Apollo mission to the moon when I was 5. Derek, we must be around the same age. When was the last Apollo mission? Early 70s, right? Yeah, really early 70s. December 7th, 1972. So I was 3, and I don't remember it at all. The one thing I do remember distinctly, this is one of my earliest memories, is Nixon resigning. I remember Nixon resigning. Well, now it might have been a news report of it, but I've got it ingrained in my head. And I remember watching Batman on my old TV at the we moved out of our first house in 1974, and I have memories from that house. So that means I was like 5. And I moved up to Encinitas when I was 6. And lived there until I moved up here. Not at my parents' house, but I lived in that area till I moved up here in 2002. God, I miss it though. 72. Yeah, Nixon resigned in 74, August 9th, 74. That's one of my earliest memories. My sister was born 3 hours before Nixon resigned. I told her for 40 years it was an omen. That means her birthday's close to mine then. She's a Leo. Whoa, demonic bioman. Remember my brother telling me Kennedy was shot. Yeah, I'm old. You're not that old. And that is ingrained in everybody's head, apparently. That was I remember when Reagan got shot. I was in 5th grade. The Saturn V is one of the greatest launch vehicles mankind has ever created. Yeah, I remember I was watching a video on rockets and how the science of it, while like the little things have changed, like the big things haven't, and they still use some of the basics from the old days. I can't remember that video now. I watched it a little while ago. Your parents got married in 72? Oh man, they've been married a long time then. Oh, the 70s. Yeah, but they were talking about like the actual like the fuel and everything has not changed. It is just the metal is lighter and tiles and the electronics, but basically it's the same. But apparently there is a big change coming, and we're about to hit another big space race. It is a long fucking overdue, but it looks like we're going to be doing shit, and which is great because we need to. It creates so much innovation, and I think that's the one thing both sides can agree on. To be honest with you, so I think that's great. I love space. We used to stop at Tesla for every launch. They would get the whole group together. We'd all be watching the TV and watching the launches and stuff. It was pretty cool. Da, 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 da. So yeah, I'm going to try the watch party thing tonight. It should be fun. So what I'm going to do is OBS software, and I'm going to have a little window with the episode playing without audio. And I definitely saw that Anti-Trekker gets away with it. So if I'm unlisted, I imagine I'll get away with it too. I won't show the full screen. I think that's part of it. But you guys can be timed up if you want, if you even watch it. How many of you do any of you get CBS All Access or watch it on Netflix over there? Does it air at the? I didn't even ask that. Those of you in Europe, does it air at the same time, or do you guys get it later? I think you guys get it later, don't you? I know it airs at the same time in Canada, but I mean, not that it matters. You're not missing anything. The biggest flaw that I missed from last episode, it made the cutting room floor. It was there, but I cut it out. Was that they could have beamed anybody out of that fucking station at any time. We were supposed to be on Mars by now. Yep. I rarely watch shows live. We try on Thursdays to watch the Orville live. Yeah, watching shows live. Who does that anymore? I only do it just to get it out of the way. To be first. It's actually the oldest thing here at this channel that it's how we started getting views, basically. Purely by accident. One night, Dennis and I did an Ash versus Evil Dead recap like right after it aired. And it wasn't even our plan. We're like, let's just do it now and get it out of the way. And it got like 100 views. And we were like, whoa, 100 views. What the fuck? You know, that was an explosion. It was a base explosion. So yeah, we kept on doing it. Then we got 1,000 views and holy shit. And then on American Gods, we got 8,000. That's been Matt, I know you want to kept it on and I do too, but that's been the biggest disappointment. Did you see the American Gods ratings? I don't know how the fuck it got renewed. And a 0.1, a 0.1. I know, like, listen, it's all streaming and everything, but still a 0.1. That is over half your audience you lost. Here, I'll go to it again. I don't think a lot of people knew it was coming back, but I did predict it would go to Amazon Prime. Yes. American Gods, not the viewers' votes. And it's been good. It's actually been good. Not saying it's not good. I miss Gillian Anderson though. Oh God. Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. I think they just wrote off Stars. Stars isn't going to be around much longer, folks. Wow. Okay, so it dropped 200,000 viewers from a 500,000 to damn near 750,000. A 0.1 in the 18 to 49 demo, down 33% from the previous week. The 46% from the opening episode of, well, the problem is this is what happens when your show is delayed. This was over a year. It's well over a year. It's 2 years coming out. So what do you think is going to happen to Doctor Who? Oh, and by the way, back me up on this, guys. Star Trek Discovery Season 3 will be delayed. It will be like 2 years till it comes out. I have no insiders told me that. I'm just guessing. I think when the Picard series comes out, you're going to see like real subscribers go to CBS All Access. You're going to see like actual real numbers. You're going to see that one trending. Now, how it turns out, I have a feeling it's going to suck because of Akira Goldsman, but maybe he's just showrunner in name only, or he gets fired and say Michael Chabon takes over and it's fucking good. And we're all happy. Yay. And then we could just cover a Star Trek fucking show and like talk about the plot and stuff. I can't. Oh my God. If that happened, that would make me so fucking happy. You don't even know. And I don't care if it didn't bring in the clicks. I want there to be good Star Trek. This is what's going to happen. I mean, like, so I will still argue that American Gods has more people talking about it than Star Trek Discovery. So, and what I've heard from my insider, I have two, but like I've told you guys, I have one I personally know, I've known for years. So the amount of people that he's told me he watches, you've heard it before. It's about 300,000 per episode total. like over time. If you count the overnight views, he said it's something. It's in double digits. Well, double not. It's not 100,000. It's like 90,000. 90,000 people watching a Star Trek show, and they canceled Enterprise. Oh, so there you go. Poor American gods. I'm hoping season 3 STD gets delayed, like Doctor Who did between the 7th and 9 Doctors, 15 years apart. Yeah, me too. Don't think had aviation challenge when I was there. I were ground time. Discovery's dead. They're just refuse to admit it and are propping up the corpse a la Weekend at Bernie's, hoping no one will notice. Exactly. I think it will. I think if the Picard series comes out, and I think the Star Trek Discovery people know this now, that if that Picard series comes out, if it's halfway decent, people are going to flock to it. Hell, if it's halfway decent, I will flock to it. I will accept a halfway decent show at this point. I'll tell you that, but I mean, I'll like, at least it's halfway decent. Skylab also had a damaged solar panel. There's going to be shorter. Well, the episodes are going to be 40 minutes, and it's going to be 8 to 10 episodes. I went to space camp and aviation challenge as a kid. Oh, that's cool. I went Top Gun. That's awesome, Matt. That's brilliant. Space camp. I remember Skylab falling back to Earth. I do. Do you think they will address in STD how Pike ends up in the chair? No. I think you will see allusions to that, and maybe you already have, and that's it. I mean, these are not good storytellers. I mean, that's the thing. Is like, now I'm just wondering how the hell they could fix the canon without using timelines, which I am fully. I mean, I could be wrong. So they're either going to explain it horribly or use timelines, which will still be horrible, but not as horrible. Okay. But it's all about Michael Burnham, and they have her in the sea. It's like, it is so bad. Oh, God, I can't wait till tonight. I'll have my notepad out. Okay, I got to get to this video. Got to get it out to appease the algorithmic gods. The new American. Oh, they should add that to American Gods. The YouTube algorithm. It's probably a demigod at this point, but it has a lot of people worshiping it. So, wow, Matt, you're all brainy and shit. That's cool. Michael is the Red Angel. She will fix everything. I mean, it can't be anybody else because they don't focus on any characters, and the only other character they focused on was for one. Listen, Ariam was good. She was good. She was really good. It sucked to see her go. Robot Girl was always one of my favorites, and they fucking killed her. The fucking morons. And they leave us with Stamets, who sucks. I mean, Calder is fine. Little Ricky. He's an asshole on Twitter. Oh my God, did you see the fight between him and Vok Tyler? And Bolstrek was calling him Little Ricky, and I know why now. I'm like, and they're fighting, and like Tyler's like, his head comes up to here, and he's like holding him in a headlock and trying to like make it look like he's struggling. It was so bad. It was so bad. Oh, did you get jumpsuits and everything, Matt? Did you get like actual spacesuits? Man, that would be cool. That would be fucking cool. I want to get I have a skeleton, and I want to get a spacesuit for it and call it Major Tom and hang it in the studio. Ground control to Major Tom. Well, my skeleton is 5 feet tall, so I can probably get a kid's costume. and like hang them from the ceiling and have Major Tom kind of floating above us all. That'd be kind of cool. I might need to move into a bigger room. Okay, I'm gonna run. Sorry, this is a rambling nooner, but this is more about just the intimate interaction, right? It's the intimate interaction. So coming up, remember this Friday, folks, I'm not going to be on my channel for Friday Night Tights, but I'm going to probably do a makeup for that on Saturday. So I'll be on Josiah Rises on Friday Night Tights, but then I'm going to do a live show Saturday here on the channel Saturday evening. And it's going to be a very loose live stream. So it's not going to be one I'm keeping up on the channel, but it will be very casual. You can wear your, wear your casual wear on Saturday night and we'll talk about all kinds of fun shit. So there you go. Who was in the spacesuit Elon launched? Was it a competitor? I don't know. Back to studying, Matthew, and the hunky chunky funky monkey. I hope you're having a good day today. Say a little prayer for you, brother, so you can have a pain-free day. I am now pain-free. I got my cortisone shot, and I'm feeling it. Fuck, it's back to. It feels better than ever, man. I had a nice long workout this morning. I'm all woo. So yeah, Saturday night we'll do a big old long live stream that's not going to stay up in the channel, so I don't have to worry about algorithm and stuff, and we'll have some fun. Hey man, thanks for your channel. I'm 52 and starting watching you 2 months ago. Thanks for bringing me back to nerddom. Hey Derek, you're welcome. Thanks for coming back. You're part of this. You are part of the channel. This is not a solo operation here. I facilitate things, but it's just to get you guys in here. Keep up the work. Keep up the workout. Shots don't last forever. No, they don't. And I will. Matthew, it's part of my recovery. Actually, I work out every day, every single day. If I don't actually, in like even the days I think about skipping it, Mrs. Nerdrotic makes me go because I turn into like kind of a raging biatch if I don't go. It's really it keeps me grounded. It's weird. It resets my brain. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I do it every day. Every day. Cortisone is awesome, but you can't get another one for a while when it goes back south. You're right. This is basically so I can get on the plane. And yeah, so I wasn't sure I was actually going to Italy until today. So I'm definitely going now because there was no way I was going to get on a plane for 10, 12, 13 hours. And oh God, even saying it makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. I hate flying, but yeah. Workout endorphins are the best. Are the best. Yeah, I'll have to get one. I'll have to get one. I got insurance. So, all right, everybody. I'll see you soon. Look for that video in a couple hours. Hopefully, it's not a rambling mess, but I've got 2 hours to shoot it. So, it might be. So, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. And I will see you guys in about 4 hours. 5.5 hours right here for Orville Watch Party. Catch you later. Bye-bye.